My name is Jake Pudens. I'm one of the many sales representatives here at Audi Richfield. Today we're going to take a quick look at our all-new 2019 Audi e-tron. This is the first of very many electric vehicles to come in our brand. When we move up towards the front, you're going to notice that this vehicle doesn't look like your average electric vehicle. It's going to look very Audi. It's going to stay in the Audi family with the Audi DNA. They're going to take a very sleek approach to this vehicle, coming in with our signature headlights with that LED bar that you're used to. These are HD matrix headlights. They're all new for 2019. You can find them on a few other of our models as well. Just want to take a quick note to point out our front and rear view parking cameras, plus our bird's eye view. Also, this vehicle is going to have our adaptive cruise control, which is going to help you with that lane keep assist, keep you in your lanes, and also it will slow down and speed up with the traffic in front of you. You're going to notice we took a lot of hard lines from other of our body cues, such as the one that comes all the way across here. You also notice that we have a very big defined rocker panel. This is going to help give you the cue that it is an electric vehicle, and that's where the battery storage is. When we open up the door here, no surprise to see that it's packed full of technology from a lot of our other vehicles that were introduced in the 2019 model year, with our virtual cockpit and our MMI touch response. This one in particular is going to have our beige interior. We have 3 different interior colors. All of them are going to be standard leather. Coming to the back, you're going to notice that since we just have a battery down there and no drive shaft or exhaust, that the floor is going to stay fairly flat and it's going to be real low to give you optimal headroom and legroom. We have 2 charging ports down there for all of your iPads. When you come up a little bit, you're going to see our climate control there, which is a touchscreen device to follow with the front. And if you take a peek up towards the roof, you're going to notice our panoramic sunroof. Over on the door, you're going to notice our signature Bang & Olufsen sound system that is going to come standard in the e-tron. Wrapping around to the back, you're going to notice how sleek the rear hatch is. And also the big thing that's going to stand out to a lot of people is this rear tail lamp. It's going to come side to side with the LED strip in the middle. It's definitely a futuristic look. You're going to notice it a lot more through our future models in Audi. When you open up the rear hatch, first impressions are that there is a ton of cargo space back here for being a midsize SUV. When you go for the spare department, this is where your spare is normally going to be found. On this vehicle, it doesn't have one because it's a pre-production model, but all the ones that you will have one. We have some extra cargo space down here, as well as our sub. If you ever feel the need to fit some more stuff in the trunk, you can always drop the rear seats down on both sides. Coming over to the side, you're going to see that this vehicle is optioned out with our 21-inch wheel. There's 3 different wheels offered for the e-tron. This one happens to have the 21-inch wheels. This is also in our black paint. We have 10 different paint colors to choose from in the e-tron. Moving up front, you'll notice that we didn't see any gas caps in the vehicle because the vehicle is electric. With the push of the button there is going to reveal your charging port. If you have any questions on how this vehicle is with the charging, please give us a call here at Audi Richfield. Again, with the click of the button, it is going to close the charging port. Now we're going to hop on into the interior of one of our Prestige models and go through some of the features in there. If I've missed anything in the video so far, or if you have any further questions, feel free to give me a call at Audi Richfield. My name is Jake again. Now we're going to hop into the interior of the 2019 Audi e-tron and show you some of the features. Up top here, we're going to find our SOS button, our sunroof controls for the window shade and the actual glass to open it up or crack it. Coming down, you're going to see our frameless rear view mirror here. When we get a little bit lower, you're going to notice our multimedia interface here. This is called our MMI touch response. It is all new for 2019. It allows us to do quite a few cool little features. Right here we are selected on our home screen. This is where you're going to find all of our apps that we have multiple screens through. You can move these around and adjust them just like your smartphone. You could even bring your weather app over to your sidebar just like you can on your Android and Apple devices. If I come down one, this is going to be our radio. You can do AM, FM, Sirius, all through here. One more down is going to be our Bluetooth. Not only does this car have Bluetooth audio and phone calling capabilities, it also has Bluetooth Apple CarPlay, so you do not have to use the cable anymore. For the Android users out there, you still will have to use the cable for now. Coming one more down is going to bring us to our phone contacts. And one more after that is going to be our navigation. You can see right now that we have a destination inputted over there in Milwaukee, just to kind of show you guys how this all works. You notice there's this blue ring around us. What this is showing us is our range that we can go on the charge that we have at the moment. If I zoom in here, you will notice that it will also route us in a way to hit the charging stations that we will need to hit in order to get to our destination if it is over your amount that we have going on. Down on the very bottom screen is where you're going to find most of our climate control. If you notice right now, we have our shortcut tabs open. I could bring my navigation, my Android Auto, my Apple CarPlay, whatever I want here, or even a radio station for a quick shortcut key. You also find our garage door opener there, and also the way to turn off the screens to help clean them. Coming down a little bit is going to be all of our climate controls. You can raise or lower the temperature with a swipe. You can even, right here, turn on your massaging seats or swipe over to adjust your bolstering. Down here as well is where you're going to find your heated steering wheel buttons and also all your different functions such as your air fresheners and rear controls too if you have the younger kids back there. Down a little bit farther is our start-stop button. Coming over then is going to bring up all of our parking cameras. This will happen automatically at slow speeds, but if you needed to pull them up when you were parked, you would just hit that button. Right now, defaulted is the front screen, and then to the right is our bird's eye view. One of the cool things you can do in the new Audi vehicles is if you hit this little 3D button there, it's going to bring up a virtual image of the e-tron where we are parked, as you can see in our show floor here. But this is definitely going to help you when you're pulling into those tight spots or even pulling out of those tight spots, especially in the city urban areas. One more button over is going to bring us to our driver assistance that we touched on a little bit earlier. We're going to have maximum, individual, and basic. These are the three different modes that come with the e-tron. Maximum is going to keep, when you're doing the lane keep assist and you're following people in front of you, is keep that as responsive as possible. If you want to back that down a little bit, you can bring it to basic or even go into individual and turn on and off or adjust any of the safety features that you please to. Coming down here, this is an all-new shifter for Audi this year. Instead of having a mechanical movement in all the rest of our vehicles that would have transmissions, they decided to move it to a thumb and finger movement just because there is no mechanical movement. They feels it definitely suits the vehicle. Coming down into our center console area, you're going to see that we have two cup holders there. We have a wireless charger down here, a 12-volt power source, plus two more USB ports and an SD card slot for that high-definition music. When we come over to the more driver-focused area, on our steering wheel, you're going to see our call hang up and pick up button, our volume for our music, plus how to skip songs or change radio stations. Also, our voice command button, instead of also just doing navigation, you can have it do many different things, such as lower the temperature to 75 degrees, please.
I am decreasing the temperature to 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
Not only can you adjust the climate control, you can do your heated seats, heated steering wheel, and such, all through your voice command button. Coming over to the left side here, you are going to notice this view button. If I click this view button and you look at our virtual cockpit here, our gauges are going to get a little bit bigger or a little smaller depending on what mode you're on. Where this comes really useful in is when you shrink down the gauges for your navigation up here on this center screen. It's going to be a lot clearer and you can see exactly where you're going without turning your head to keep your eyes on the road. You can also bring up your telephone contacts, your music, if that is Bluetooth, Sirius, AM, FM, and then our home screen here with our percent charged, our distance, and all of our trip info. One other cool thing that is on the back of the steering wheel, you'll notice there's paddle shifters, what seem to be paddle shifters. What these are is to control your regenerative braking. So you can slow it down or speed it up in a sense to where when it's at its maximum setting, it will actually recreate 30% of the energy used by just letting off the gas pedal. Again, this is the 2019 Audi e-tron. Feel free to give us a call if you have any questions, or you can find us online at audirichfield.com.